Hello, my brothers and sisters. And now, as we remember, as Bishop Checchio takes his new role as a archbishop in the Archdiocese of New Orleans, today we have a patroness of our diocese, Our Lady of Guadalupe. Something that Bishop Checchio brought to our diocese, and something that unites us as a whole. And Our Lady does not speak often in our scriptures. But what our Heavenly Mother says is always significant. We just heard in the Gospel reading her longest address, the Magnificat, her song of praise to God. And if we suspend from our minds the soft musical settings, all of the various ways that we pray the Magnificat, if we just consider her words, there is something very much that is on fire. There is something that is very fierce about our Mother of Christ. Those words in that Magnificat are very powerful. She speaks with the same tenacity as John the Baptist, already the prophets of the Old Testament. Fire and prophecy. Her words testify about a Lord who arrives with all of his power to set a world gone wrong. And she goes out to evangelize, beginning with her cousin Elizabeth. She immediately gets to work. That's what a prophet does. Immediately get out. But then there's also contemplation. Contemplation begins with desire. Not just our desire for God, but also remembering his desire for us. The first and greatest commandment may be to love God with every fiber of our being. But there is something still more fundamental. To realize that our Creator God has loved us first. That's what Mary knew. She was loved by the Creator of existence. That's why she's the first Christian. Every disciple is called to make that discovery. Every disciple not only does that, but bases their entire life upon it. Every disciple places themselves into his presence first and foremost in all things. That's what Mary did. She placed everything before God and she carried them in her heart. She trusted that she was loved by something so powerful we could never imagine. By someone so powerful that he even gave his only begotten Son. And that's what Mary strives to bring to all of her children. Through all ages, through all cultures, through all ways, through various apparitions, through miraculous signs. And one day, it came to Mexico. It came to this little guy, this little saint, Juan Diego. A complete outcast. A nothing in the world's eyes. And then through him, she brought it to the whole world. And that's why I love Juan Diego. Even after she appeared to him, he tries to avoid her. He doesn't want to go back to the same route where he met her. And imagine, you would think that Mary would show him some powerful miracle. Nope. Mary begins not with miraculous signs. The roses that we all love, and the tilma, and the image on the tilma that still exists to this day, which in itself is miraculous. There's no tilma that exists from over 500 years. Her image is still on it. But before any miracle, what does she say to Juan Diego? Before doing something powerful. Not the sun dancing in the sky. Not roses with, snowflakes. The first thing that she says to Juan Diego, she meets him again. And what does she say? Am I not here? I, who am your mother. In other words, what does she say when he tries to run away? You're loved. You're accepted. But you have to trust in my son because he loves you. And as with any disciple, Mary wants Juan and us to join in the mission of evangelization. We're not called to be bystanders. She trusts it. And through her sign, Juan Diego trusts it. We can not expect God to do all the work. There's work for us to join in. So I always think for Our Lady of Guadalupe, maybe there's some evangelization. Maybe there's some bridge building we need to do in our lives. Maybe there's a relationship in our lives for which we need to show a new respect. Perhaps a prayer life that needs some tuning up. Maybe we need to be more prudent and less sarcastic. Maybe we need a more honest self-scrutiny as we prepare ourselves for this Advent season. Maybe we need more self-control. Maybe we need to work on the virtue of hope. All of those things Juan Diego needed to do. He needed to do all of it. And he did it. He trusted in the words of our mother. Our Lady of Guadalupe, that's why that image, she's pregnant. The most beautiful aspect, I think, of that image, it's about rebirth. She's about to give birth. She wanted to give new birth to the new world. Millions and millions of indigenous peoples. She wanted to show them Jesus. She wanted to give them a rebirth. A rebirth to truth, a rebirth to his church, and especially a rebirth to one another. And she wants us to have a rebirth. Advent is the new season in the church's year. It's a new season of hope, here and now. All we have to do is invite him and receive him ever more into our lives. May the Mother of the Eucharist, Our Lady of Guadalupe, help us to do this today. May we pray for one another, not only in our own parish, but especially to all the people in our Diocese of Metuchen, and whom we look to for our patroness today. May God bless you.